I want to just give you an update from our world here. Decker Season 3. Everyone's asking what's going on Decker Season 3. I haven't seen the script
All the
yet.
episodes are written, 20 episodes, which is a Decker season. Most of the cast is set in place. We're building sets right now.
Good.
I'm doing this at the same time, maintaining this film archive, so I've been very busy.
Well, I can't wait to see what you've got cooked up. I'll be there bright and early whenever you need me to.
Most exotic locale yet. If you thought Hawaii was exotic, wait till you see where Decker goes this season.
All right. And so you're going to be able to get me done in one chunk? Pretty limited time-wise.
No, you have a lot of scenes, but we can shoot them in one day. If you can do them right, we should be able to get you out in a day.
Great. All right.
We're going to film a lot of the scenes before you even get there, so don't worry.
Okay.
Decker update, yes. We have shot most of the scenes for the first 4 episodes using some of the guest stars, some of the other cast.
I have not been on set yet, so I don't know what you've been
shooting.
shooting.
You know, this is how the real movie makers do it. You don't have to shoot things in sequence with everyone there. You shoot out some actors, you bring in other actors like yourself at their convenience, and we'll get all your scenes. No one will ever be able to tell that you weren't there every second of the shoot.
Well, I'm coming in next couple of days.
Saturday, 6 a.m.
Yep,
and be on set.
I'll be there.
Been working with Joe Estevez, who's back as President Jason Davidson. Things haven't changed that much.
And I'm going to give you as much time as I can. You know, he got some issues with Tom Cruise. He's going to be coming along too, I understand. We're going to be.
It's going to be a long day because you've got a lot of scenes, but I think we can do them in one day because we've got this plotted out. It's not like in Hawaii where everything was kind of slipshod. First 5 episodes next week.
So the turnaround on this is remarkable. I'm shooting this Saturday, and new episodes begin airing this coming Monday.
We've already edited most of the episode. We just need to insert your scenes.
Okay, good. Well, you got a crazy deadline, but you guys are in luck because Decker. Can I say the title? Decker.
Don't reveal the title yet.
Everything's
the abbreviation is what's on the poster.
DVD.
DVD. Hey, can we show the official poster? Can
Show
we
the
premiere
poster.
that?
Yeah.
The official DVD. That's all we can reveal right now about the title.
A lot of secrecy here. I can't wait. I'm going to read the script tonight, get off book, and be ready to shoot on Saturday.
President Davidson's office. Yes, but he's in a meeting. Can I take a message? Okay, thank you.
He's getting bigger every day.
Yes, he is.
Is Davidson in?
Is he expecting you?
He called me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go right in, Mr. Decker.
Tom Cruise. Maybe one day he'll become an agent like Jack Decker.
I hope so.
What do you want, Mr. President?
Decker, you look like hell.
You don't look so hot yourself. The difference is, I've been in Afghanistan for the past 3 months fighting the terrorists in the hills of Bora Bora, fighting a war on your behalf. I haven't even had time to go home and take a shower and a hot shave.
Forget it. Please, have a seat.
What is so important that you needed to see me immediately?
Decker, I wanted to personally apologize face to face for my actions that caused the Hawaiian terrorist invasion.
Mr. President, I told you to do 3 things. Close the borders for foreign immigrants, follow the Constitution, and use our strategy to defeat terrorism at any cost. You failed on all 3 fronts.
Yeah, I know. I apologize. And I'm going to resign from the presidency tonight on national television. I wanted to tell you first.
Appreciate that. This is the hardest decision you'd ever have to make. And now we'll have a chance to rebuild this country and make America great again.
Excuse me. Yes, this is the president, but I'm in a meeting with Special Agent... What? I understand. I'll be in touch. Something terrible has happened. Look, Jack, I know that you just returned from your toughest assignment yet, defeating the Taliban and even defeating ISIS, but this is even a greater threat to the United States, a greater threat by far.
All right, Mr. President, what is the national emergency? Your fundraisers can't find enough money in their coffers to pay for another term? What is the threat?
Dracula, also known as Nosferatu. He's risen from the dead, taken over his castle in Transylvania, gotten back together with his cronies, Wolfman, Mummy, and Frankenstein. And together they've created this monster machine.
What?
It's called the Destructicon. It's going to destroy the world in 48 hours.
Excuse me? Dracula? This is our worst nightmare come true. I'll head there at once and take out Dracula once and for all.
No, Decker, we need you here to head up operations. We already have Jonathan Kington on the site. He was there anyway, giving a speech at the Monster Movie Convention.
Kington is a good man. I support your decision, and I'll stay here, and we'll use the Oval Office as our new command center. We can control the eyes in the sky from here using new technology.
I knew I could count on you, Agent Decker. This is very serious. The presidency is at stake.
It's the only thing you care about, but luckily Kington is a good man, and he will find a way to defeat Dracula.
Now everything is ready, and the Destructicon is all set to kill all of humanity. All of humanity shall perish.
Agent Kington, we are approaching Dracula's castle. You will jump on our command. Your mission is to enter the castle, defeat your enemy, and destroy the Destructicon. Do you copy? Do you copy?
Yes, I copy.
Roger that. Stand by to jump.
I'm standing by to jump. All right, here we go. Command center! Command center! This is Agent Kington. I've reached the destination and I'm ready to
Sorry,
approach.
Mr. President, but my money's on Dracula. Kingston doesn't have a chance. He doesn't have what it takes.
Decker, why don't you give him a chance to prove himself?
Because I've been down this road one too many times. I understand that you should have sent me in. You should have sent me in.
We gotta stick with Kington. He's our only hope.
Decker, I've spotted Dracula's castle. So much bigger than it looks like in the movies.
Right, you've got targets in the main foyer as you enter Dracula's castle. Looks like there's one coming right down the steps. The time for talk is over. Actions speak louder than words. Kington, it's time you to step up to the plate and take the target out.
Decker, are you sure this is the right course of action?
You gotta fight fire with fire, Davidson. The time for capitulation and kowtowing down to what Dracula's requests are have passed. We should have bombed that castle back to the Stone Age. It's time to make America great again.
I am proceeding to the castle.
I'm proceeding.
Good luck, Kington.
Good luck, Kington. The entire world is counting on you. Good luck, Kington. The entire world is counting on you.
Hello? Hello? Is anyone here? Dracula? Hello? Guys? Is anybody home? Dracula, Dracula, come out wherever you are. It's me, Special Agent Codebreaker, Jonathan Kingdon. Hello? I'm not afraid of you, Dracula. Come out and face the music. Come out and make yourself known. Dracula.
Mr. Kington. Yes, I was expecting you. I want you to meet my associates. The Wolfman. And Frankenstein.
Dracula, by order of the United States President of America, you are under arrest.
Oh.
You and your evil henchmen are ordered to drop your weapons and hand over the keys to the Destructicon. If you refuse to do so, I, as the Master of Codes, will deactivate it. The choice, Dracula, is yours.
Mr. Langton, I will not negotiate with you. I will only negotiate with one man. The President of the United States, Mr. Jason Davidson.
He can't do that.
Sorry, Mr. President. It looks like Dracula's holding all the cards this time.
Wolfman, show our guest to his room.
He can't do that.
Sorry, Mr. President. It looks like Dracula's holding all the cards this time.
I will not negotiate with you. Show our guest to his room.
And now a very major announcement regarding regarding Decker.
20 episodes plus, we can announce now for the first time there's also going to be a 2-hour season finale at the end. So this
sorry.
is the biggest and best Decker yet.
Pardon me, that's not the announcement I'm going to make. The major announcement is Decker versus Dracula has been canceled by me.
No.
I apologize to the audience for bearing through those 3 episodes. If you haven't seen the 3rd one today, don't bother. It's a complete waste of time. It's a disaster, what you did.
No.
The way you... Shut up. I'm not letting you speak, but you should hear this. What you did to this franchise is you pissed on it. You pissed all over it and you shit on it. And you showed absolutely no respect for the universe that I created through Decker Classified and Decker Protocol Hawaii, Save the Island. I came in good faith and trusted that you would write a script worthy of my performance, my characters that I created.
And I did.
No, you did not.
I did.
You turned it into a mockery. You turned it into a joke. Dracula. Who cares about Dracula?
You need to
Movie
watch all the
monster.
episodes.
Shut
You
up!
need to film them.
Hey! Shut up or I'll punch you in your mouth. Second of all, you showed blatant disrespect for America, American values, by the capitulation of Decker with the Taliban. Never in a million years would Decker and the Taliban
Plot twist.
collaborate in order to protect the world from a fictional character. You have ruined your chances at becoming a director, writer, producer of content.
Wait and see how it turns out.
I'm not waiting to see, because I'm not coming back to set. This
beard didn't fit with Decker anyway. You're the one that shits all over it when you show up to set with a dyed black beard that Jack
not
Decker
dyed.
would never wear.
That beard is not dyed. It's natural. It's how my hair comes in. First of all, you didn't give Decker any action. You need to bring in the action right away.
Well,
like
there
I
was
did
no
with
action in
Hawaii.
the first 3 episodes of The
You
Sopranos,
screwed
and
up.
that
Why
was
don't
the
you just
most
admit you screwed
popular
up?
series
You don't know
of
what
all
you're
time.
doing. You have no idea what you're doing.
In Moonraker with James Bond, they took James Bond to outer space. That was at that time the most successful James Bond movie of them all.
You know what? Shut up. This is the biggest mistake of my life, ever giving you the responsibility of those keys to my beautiful Corvette. I have never heard more negative reactions to anything in my life than those first 3 episodes of Decker versus
I've never heard more
Dracula.
positive
Well,
reactions.
then you're not looking on the right places. I've seen more 1 stars, more downvotes, more dislikes.
I've seen the exact
People
opposite.
People are throwing
Horror
it under the bus.
movie fans love
is-
it,
listen,
and Decker heads love
First of all,
it.
and that fraud, that James Dean that you picked out of a trash can, whoever his name is, that James Dean
James
guy,
Byron Dean.
He's not James Dean. James Dean died many years ago. You've been
And that's
duped
one of the
by
special
him.
things about
I-
this is its return to the silver screen. James Dean is back.
Well,
Rebel
I
Without a
don't know what
Cause,
to tell
East
you,
of
Greg.
Eden,
I-
Giant, and Decker versus Dracula. The 4 films of James Dean.
I
think he's
apologize that
fantastic
you-
in this, and there's a lot of buzz about this right now.
There
a lot
is
of
not a
people are
lot of buzz.
talking.
The buzz is bad buzz, and it's people are angry and upset that we destroyed the characters.
They're angry that you're
And-
destroying the series. I'm going to keep it going with
No,
Mr.
you're not
Dean.
going to keep it going because I forbid you to ever go on set and work with the characters Jason Davidson, Decker,
All right, we'll change it to
Abdul,
Jason
Kingpin.
Donaldson.
Those are all completely forbidden for you. And sorry that this had
we'll
to
change
happen
the
this
name of
way.
the show to
I
Becker.
apologize I gave you this creative control. It was my mistake. It was out of line.
Well,
that
no,
I
it's your
should've-
mistake to pull the plug prematurely before people have had a chance.
In the parlance
Tune
of
into
your horror
Decker
in the parlance of your
versus-
horror movie language, R.I.P. to Decker versus Dracula. It's the last time any
And
of my
and in
audience
the
is going to have to
in
suffer
the,
through
and
that.
in the language of
thank-
horror movies, Becker versus Dracula rises
With
again
who?
from the crypt.
Well,
can
thank you
do
very
that.
much. We're wrapping it up
James
for today.
Dean
and
is
you're
back.
forbidden to work. If you want to work on cinema, then you don't touch the Decker franchise ever again. I apologize.
Well,
to the
you're going to
audience.
get so much hate mail over this because people are going to want to know how these episodes turned out.
You ruined-
and you don't pull
you
the
had one
plug on
chance and you
something.
ruined it.
No, I didn't ruin it. You need to watch it. You're going to get.
Do this. I mean, I'm not cut out for this.
With all due respect, Mr. President, it's time for you to man up and take charge of this situation. For once.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Good luck, Mr. President. I'll take care of things here at the control center. I'll be your eyes in the sky.
I'm confident with you holding down the fort here. I mean, everybody knows that you're the one that actually deserves being sent into this Oval Office full time.
Without due respect, Mr. President, you know I have no interest in your job. And I'm much better I'm much better out there in the field instead of sitting up here in the high castle, sitting on that throne. Sitting on the throne. I would never have that noose around my neck with a big government special interests controlling me like a puppeteer, as they have done for you for these past so many years.
Well, you are going to be acting president while I'm in Transylvania. Are you sure you're up for it?
Of course I can, but I will not be president 1 second longer than I am required to. I will not be running for office. I refuse to take $1 from the special interests.
Mr. President, Air Force One is waiting for you on the White House lawn to take you to Transylvania.
Wish me luck.
Good luck on your flight. I will be monitoring you from above. Good luck, Mr. President. Acting President Decker, under better circumstances, perhaps I'd like the sound of that. But now I have the weight of the world on my shoulder. If Dracula does win, then then it will be on my watch. I hope Davidson doesn't capitulate to Dracula, and we hope that the founding fathers watch over us and make our country great again. Please help me, founding fathers, to make the right choices. The presidency is like being CEO. If I was a president, that would be what I would want to do. Godspeed, former President Davidson. Hopefully you will come back to this Oval Office. But you are in grave danger. Dracula is holding all the cards on this one, as I said.
Only 48 hours until I destroy the world. I am the spider, and Davidson is my fly. He has just walked into my web.
I hope this works. The last thing I want to be is president.
Mr. President, welcome to Transylvania. I trust your voyage was most pleasant, eh?
Hello, Dracula. I demand to know what you did with Special Agent Jonathan Kington.
He's resting comfortably in one of our master suites.
Dracula, You have threatened the whole world. And you have made an enemy out of the greatest superpower that this planet had ever seen. How dare you, Dracula?
Oh. I will not negotiate with you further, Mr. Davidson. I will leave you in the capable hands of one of my associates, Mummy.
Davidson, this is sabotage. Get out of there.
Help! Help! Help, Decker! If you can hear me, please! Help!
He's tricked. He fell into the rabbit's nest again. It's the worst possible scenario. He's been captured just like a fly in a spider's web.
It's gonna be okay.
Special Agent Jack Decker! Anybody can hear me?
Kington, this is Acting President Jack Davis Decker. You give me a status report at your earliest convenience.
Acting President Decker, there's a call for you on the hotline.
This is Acting President Jack Decker. Who is it?
It's Abdul. I'm still alive.
Abdul, my enemy. You're a traitor. What do you want? We're in the middle of a national crisis.
Precisely. The Taliban and Al-Qaeda network has been monitoring Dracula's movements for quite some time. We feel that he poses a threat to our interests and our oil fields.
I don't care about Taliban oil fields. Dracula is going to blow up the whole world, every man, woman, and child on Earth.
That is why I've called you, Decker. The only way we can stop this threat is by working together. The combined forces of the US military and the Taliban's guerrilla fighters are the only way we can take out Dracula once and for all.
That sounds like a deal with the devil. No thanks, Abdul. I will never work with terrorism.
Decker, you must listen. This is our planet's only home. There is an old Arabic proverb, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Decker, I am your only hope. You need me.
Abdul, you've got a deal. The president is under attack, and Dracula... Okay.
How about everybody get on Twitter and tweet at Tim Heidecker, bring back Decker versus Dracula, because we all loved it, and he is the one who has somehow managed to halt production. It's temporary, we will be back with the other episodes, but for now, it's been halted. Here's a
that's
fun game.
canceled.
Who can send the most tweets at Tim Heidecker
No,
saying,
don't bother. 'Cause I
bring
don't
back
listen. I don't pay
Decker
attention
versus
to the
Dracula?
Court
That's
of public opinion, by the way. It doesn't matter. What matters is quality, and that's why we'll never see another episode of Decker versus Dracula.
Honestly, when he got that beard, I didn't think he was right to play Jack Decker anymore. But he did anyway, and it was a disaster. But it's certainly not my fault it was a disaster. You're the lead actor, and you refused to show up for more than a few hours, gave a piss-poor performance, and then pull the plug and have a tantrum like a crybaby, like little Tom Cruise Heidecker would, because people liked it better than they liked Decker Hawaii. Just like somebody has to pay to get cast in the Fantastic Four because somebody else got cast in Ant-Man. It's just professional jealousy, and it's just destroying this franchise here. But I think that if you would let the other 17 episodes plus the 2-hour finale actually get completed and air, you might find that you get some awards.
I just want to say thank you to Dr. San, who's has me on this powder called Relax, which I take twice a day. And what it does is it takes all that crap energy that comes this way, all that negativity, all that vitriol.
What's
and
more
it-
negative than pulling the plug on a show that all these people depend on for their livelihood and to be entertained by? That seems pretty
Well, I've
negative.
never been more calm and more at peace than I am right now as you flap off at the mouth. And I suppose it's sort of just rolling off me, which is, that powder is unbelievable. If you're ever in stressful situations, take a spoonful, put it in water or juice.
And so the moral of the story is, instead of watching Decker versus Dracula and finding out an interesting story with an interesting ending and some twists and turns, instead of that, just take some weird drugs from some quack doctor who's been discredited.
Are you done? Because I'd like to move on to the fun games. Your show got canceled. It's time to move on. Lick your wounds, get up off your ass, and make something of your life. Choices have been made, and I'm living with them.
James Dean fans are furious too. And
Sure
if
they
you
are.
hang out in James Dean message boards or chat rooms, James Dean fans, we're looking forward to seeing the first James Dean performance since 1955.
Hi everyone, my name is Tim Heidecker, and I usually am the host of On Cinema at the Cinema, but today we're not going to be talking about movies. Sorry. We're going to be talking about my son, Tom Cruise Heidecker, who passed away over the weekend. And I'm joined, I have a wonderful panel with me, and Greg Turkington is here.
Hey guys. I don't usually get choked up about too many movies. Old Yeller or Brian's Song, Ghost. But this just feels as bad as any of that or worse. And if you want to come by, I will still make a selection of movies that might cheer you up and put together a little care package for you from the Victorville collection. I don't mind giving them to you. I have duplicates of a lot of these titles.
You know, Greg, we've had some problems, I know, in the past. A couple of weeks ago, we had a real blowout. And you helped me out last week with the show, and thank you for that. Thanks for being here. If you want to say something about Tom, that would be great.
He was really, really good to work with, just a really good kid. And just really made the scene that he was in with Ayaka, his mother. And I just want to be here for her and for the memory of Tom Cruise Heidecker. I wish we could have done more scenes together.
Thank you, Greg. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the first ever appearance on television of Tom Cruise Heidecker, my son. Tom? Maybe one day he'll become an agent like Jack Decker.
I hope so.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for that. What do you think of that, Greg, in terms of where would he have gone as an actor?
We had some scenes in episode 18 of Decker versus Dracula that he was going to do with Joe Estevez, President Davidson, that were going to be a bit of a stretch for him, and I felt very confident he would have been able to nail the scenes if he had lived to do them and if the show hadn't been canceled.
1, 2, 3, 4. Farewell, Tom Cruise. I miss you, son, and I wish you well. Farewell, Tom Cruise. I miss you, son. You ain't coming back to me now. Hey everybody, Tim Heidecker here, host of On Cinema at the Cinema, and the creator of and star of the Decker movies. I also wrote and directed both Decker Classified and Decker Port of Call Hawaii, which were big hits with the critics and very popular with the public. I wanted to share with you some footage from the set of Decker vs. Dracula that proves my point that Greg Turkington was not only a terrible director, but in way over his head. And while I do carry some blame for giving him this responsibility, I think you can safely see that Greg Turkington is just not capable of handling the situation. What you're about to see is raw, unedited footage, so you can judge for yourself. I think you'll come away from this video understanding why I had no choice but to cancel the series. I hope this isn't the end for Decker. I, like you, worry that this misadventure by Greg Turkington could prove a fatal blow to the franchise. I would encourage you, however, to not consider Decker vs. Dracula a part of the Decker canon, and perhaps I can figure out a way for Decker to rise from the ashes of this terrible disaster.
What Decker's saying, what Tim's saying, it's casting shadows on the desk. I don't think if you can stay back a little bit, not be so. No, but keep that exactly where it is.
Okay.
But it's just when you lean forward, it's just it's casting the shadows, so we don't need.
Shadows are natural. I think they create a sense of understanding where the space is. In other words, you see the
Yeah,
shadows.
but there's
through the light
there's no
coming.
sun in the Oval Office. You know what I mean? Indoors, you
There's
don't have those
windows.
kind of shadows.
There's windows.
I don't know.
I'm just saying you should. Well, I don't think you should be restrictive in the way you're using your
Yeah.
body, right?
Yeah, but if it makes the scene so the scene doesn't work.
All I'm saying is the light. From what I can see, there's always shadows on faces, and there's.
Not indoors, there aren't.
Well, maybe I can split the difference here.
Well, no, because he's just an actor in this, so I would say just when you lean forward, just be aware. Just keep aware of what the shadows are doing.
All right.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
All right.
Good notes. Helpful notes. Okay. So we're gonna get to the next scene.
Yeah, but I would like a version of that where you're not so negative about Kingston.
I'm not giving you another take. Okay. So we can move on, or we can cut. What do you want to do?
Just do what's
I'll absorb that into the script. I'm just reading the lines you wrote. You wrote the line. Correct me if I'm wrong. You wrote the line. Kington doesn't have what it takes. So that's what I'm reading.
Yeah, just you're putting too much into it. Like you should be a little. You're
All right.
saying it, but you don't really believe it because you know Kingston.
Okay, so you want to do that whole scene again?
I'd like another.
You want another?
Well, I
All
just-
right, really quick.
Yeah,
Really
I
quick.
just think you need to not.
Really quick.
It just
Ready?
feels like you're really anti
Okay, ready?
and that's
Yeah.
not right.
From the top of that, Kington. At this point in the shooting, it was becoming apparent to me that Greg was not capable of giving me the direction I need to deliver a great performance. But what happened next proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that Greg had, from the very beginning, had intended to destroy the character of Special Agent Jack Decker. See for yourself and decide. Sorry, I'm not.
We're almost done. Just like one line to go.
Yeah, I'm not saying that we got to deal with. We're not. Decker's not going to make a. I'm just confused. Why is Decker making a deal with Taliban?
In order to save the planet from Dracula's Destructicon.
No, we're not. I'm not going to say that we're collaborating with the Taliban.
We're not collaborating with anyone. It's just you're facing a worse enemy than you've ever faced before, and you're going to have to fight fire with fire to make this work.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. We should have gone over this.
But people team up like all the time, like countries and with their enemies.
Just, I mean, is this do I change my mind then in the next?
It makes it like the best makes like the best Decker yet because everybody's teamed up for one common foe. You know what I mean?
Well,
so it's totally unexpected to the
No, it
audience.
doesn't work for me. I just can't. We can't. That breaks all the rules of the universe that I created. In other words, get this fly out of here. The whole idea is that one person in this planet, the only person that doesn't capitulate to terrorism, and to no offense to your character, to everybody else, is Jack Decker. If you start having him deal this Neville Chamberlain bullshit, then you don't have a show anymore.
No, because
So-
he's not capitulating to terrorism.
Yes,
He's
he is.
fighting-
He just said the line that you have with Abdul. You have a deal. What kind of fucking line is
Dracula is the
that?
worst terrorist that the world
Fuck
has ever
Dracula.
seen.
Dracula doesn't exist.
yeah,
this is the real world we're talking about here, and I'm not going to have the character that I created start
This
talking
is a
about who's going to
movie.
start
In the
working with.
movie world, Dracula does exist. He's a far worse
Well,
terrorist.
I think
It
what
doesn't-
Greg,
I know.
ISIS.
I think what Greg is saying
I'm not-
is
I don't care what you think. What Greg is saying.
Also,
I'm just
wait
saying
and
that-
see.
that
Just read
doesn't
the lines
matter.
and wait and see. In episode 18, you will be vindicated with some of these ideas.
Well, you're going to have to change this
because
line.
Abdul
You're going to have to
obviously.
change the idea that that Decker's making.
In the 2-hour finale, it's not like you and Abdul hold hands and go off into the sunset together.
Okay,
There's some
Greg,
twists
let me just
that are going to
explain-
take place.
I don't care about
where
twists. We're
Abdul
never going
is
down
gonna
that
get
road.
his.
Because what if somebody watches one episode? This is the only episode. What if they watch that one episode and they say that Decker now has made a deal with Taliban? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to say the line. So I'm not going to give you the option.
Well, if they only
to say
watch
it.
one episode of Decker Hawaii, they
That-
would think that
no.
Leroy Arnold was a good guy, and he's not.
That's
so
a
we can't,
different
we
situation
can't make
entirely.
shows for people that
Listen,
don't
can
watch
we just
movies
take a,
all
can
the
we
way
all take
through.
a break? Can we get Mark out of here? I don't want to see him right now. We can get everybody just. I would think you. First of all, you're an hour late with lunch, and
But if you read the
I wanna-
script for episode 18,
I'm
you
not-
see what happens to Abdul.
I don't care what happens. I'm not saying
It's
this
part of
line. and
Decker's
we're not-
master grand plan, you
We're-
see, to defeat
I'm
all
sorry,
the
Greg.
terrorists.
I'm sorry, but
you
I'm not.
cooperate with this terrorist now,
Either
you
you
defeat
change-
him later, and especially in the finale,
Either you
where
change.
the Taliban is going to fall.
Okay. Either you change this line, okay, and lose the plot point. I mean,
But
maybe
we need
there's
to-
other- hold on. Either you change this line and you don't make Decker make a deal with Abdul and terrorism,
It's not a real
or I
deal.
walk.
It's a deal of convenience. It's a deal of convenience to
It's-
stop the
It
scourge
doesn't
of
work. Let me
Transylvania.
explain this to me. As an actor, as an executive producer, it doesn't work for me. I'm sorry, everybody, that I didn't come as fully
Yeah,
prepared.
I'm sorry you came
knowing-
with because you have a beard that you weren't supposed to have. It's not in the script. You want to talk about scripts that don't make sense?
Okay.
Jack Decker is a clean-shaven agent.
All right. Well,
He's not a
who
bearded
wants
guy.
the mic? Does somebody
Not with
want
that
the
kind of a
mic?
beard, especially, because that's not a beard that an agent that you would never get security clearance looking like that.
Well, I established that with the
And
line.
you'd
that I
never
had
be
to rewrite.
president with a beard like that either.
Okay. Someone take this mic off me.
Just do the scene. I promise you, Abdul and the Taliban and all those guys will get theirs in the end.
Okay. Good luck with the project. If you're not
No,
going to
no,
listen
just
to my notes,
just because
if
we
you're not
just
going to
need.
listen to my notes and take my considerations, the sensitivity.
I've listened to your notes
The
all day
sensitivity
long.
that I have for this character and the work that I've done to build this character over 5 years, and you're throwing it in the trash.
I'm not throwing it in the trash.
You step away
You're
from me.
throwing
Don't
my
touch me again.
script in the
Your
trash
crew
without
sucks.
really
This is a
reading.
shitty environment to make entertainment, to make drama. It's a disaster. It's the biggest mistake of my life that I ever asked you to take.
Well,
over
everyone else likes it
Dracula.
just fine. We can recast you anyway.
And you, if you're
And
smart,
maybe we'll
you'll
get
walk
somebody
off
who's
this set
clean
with me.
shaven and
I think
we'll
everybody
straight
should
shoot.
walk off this set, show you the respect that you deserve, because you threw Jack Decker in the fucking trash. And fuck you!
We can get someone else to play Jack Decker. Somebody who looks the part, because that was not Jack Decker. You could play Jack Decker. You can do more than one role. Obviously, you did Three Stooges in one night. You could certainly handle Abdul and Jack Decker. You need some time with the script. You want to take that in? I mean, we'll probably have to. I don't know if we can keep the stuff we've shot and then shoot and insert scenes.
Nowadays, you can do so much without even the actor being there, or just
Well, you know,
another
every time
person coming in. And
I'm
doing
trying
it.
to direct these scenes, and you're just throwing in his bad ideas every step of the way. So, you know, we probably would have been done with the whole thing by now.
I tried to help you, but he doesn't like me. So
No, because he doesn't like anyone that outshines his star. You know.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, go learn those lines, and let's regroup here after lunch. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, we're here in Hollywood, California. Below me is not only the place where many of the legendary movie studios are located, but also the studio where we shot Decker vs. Dracula, the unfairly, prematurely aborted movie series, which a lot of people are very upset was canceled ahead of its time. I'd like to thank you all now for your support. I've gotten thousands, if not millions, of letters, cards, emails, and messages on message boards for movie buffs who are furious that Tim Heidecker has terminated what was shaping up to be a true Oscar winner. And James Dean heads are also quite angry because Decker vs. Dracula represented James Dean's return to the silver screen, his first starring role since 1956, and Giant with Elizabeth Taylor and Rock Hudson. Today we are going to discuss the unfinished Decker vs. Dracula finale. And we're not just going to discuss it, we're actually going to show you what that episode would have been like had we been able to complete it using storyboards, previously unseen footage, and new dramatic reenactment to bring this conclusion to you. Now, the original Decker vs. Dracula would have been 20 episodes with a 2-hour finale. Unfortunately, because Tim has locked me out of the studio facility, I am unable to retrieve some of the footage that was shot and bring you all 20 episodes. However, we can bring you the unseen, sort of reduced in length, but it's still there in spirit, the finale. Now, this is very different to some of the things that Tim discussed in his shocking documentary Hatchet piece, which maybe some of you have seen. I've seen it. I didn't think it was accurate or fair at all, not only to myself, but to our hardworking crew, actors James Dean and Mark and the rest. Now we will take a look at what would have been Decker vs. Dracula, the unseen finale.
Today, I am pleased to announce that the menace posed to the world by Dracula has been neutralized. Now, it wasn't easy, but thanks to the efforts of Special Agent Jonathan Kington, the entire world is a much safer place to live. Now, it was Agent Kington who was able to combine his exceptional code-breaking skills as well as his unrivaled knowledge of our enemies, Dracula, Wolfman, the Mummy, and Frankenstein, that he cracked the deconstruction code and saved the day.
20 seconds until Destructicon destroys the world. 10 seconds until Destructicon destroys the world. 1 second until Destructicon destroys. Alert. Code cracked.
Got it.
Destructico shut
I cracked the code. I truly am the master of codes.
Jonathan Kington deserves our respect and our praise. But he did not do it alone. If it wasn't for the heroic efforts of acting president Jack Decker, already a national hero, our separate domestic crisis would not have been handled while I was in Transylvania. But that's not all. There are more heroes to thank. Ladies and gentlemen, I would not be standing here today if it were not for the efforts of the ghost of the Three Stooges, Moe, Larry, and Curly, who, after being raised from the dead by Count Dracula, turned against him and drove him into exile.
Oh, Mary! Corey!
Now it is not all good news, I'm afraid. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to announce that the Taliban agent Abdul has double-crossed the United States. And he is on the run. It is my hope that he will be apprehended as soon as possible and face justice in a court of law for his crimes. But on a more positive note, as a token of this country's gratitude for Agent Jonathan Kington, I have hereby granted his complete access to the Library of Congress movie archives, so he can further his knowledge of classic cinema and keep our country safe.
Thank you, Jason.
Godspeed. Oh, and save some popcorn for me, huh?
It would be a pleasure. I just wanted to say one thing real quick.
Oh, of course.
There were some people along the way who were afraid that Agent John Decker was making a deal with the terrorists, with Abdul, and that was just part of his game. If you followed what actually happened to its logical conclusion, of course, we would never make a deal with the terrorists and with Abdul in particular. And the fact that Abdul is on the run vindicates that position. I just wanted to make that clear. Thank you.
Thank you, Special Agent.
Did you like what you saw? I know I did. Folks, we would like to go back, revisit the Decker versus Dracula series, and give you the full picture, not just a little framework of what could have been, but the series complete as it was supposed to be. Now, I've been getting cards and letters, emails, and letters from fans all over the world who say, how can I help? What can we do? Bombarding Tim with hate mail is one step, but it's not working. We've decided to take this to you, the people, so that you can all personally be credited as executive producers, or even have a walk-on role by contributing to a Kickstarter campaign to revisit Decker versus Dracula. Let's see it in its full splendor as it was intended. We're starting a Kickstarter campaign. The address is at the bottom of your screen right now. The budget for this is $248 million. That might seem like a lot, but it's actually not a lot in today's movie-making climate. Pan, which came out recently, I thought it was fantastic, but it wasn't as good as what we could do. Pan had a $150 million budget. They didn't have a Transylvanian castle. They didn't have James Dean, one of the most famous actors in movie history. $250 million seems like a lot of money. That's not a number we plucked out of a hat. We've had people sit down, piece it together, and figure out what the budget is. Of course, a big part of the budget is buying out the rights to the Decker character, as well as the characters of Kington and some of the other smaller characters, President Jason Davidson. These are all characters, unfortunately, owned by Tim Heidecker, who is not only kind of the creator of this, but he's also the destroyer of it, much as Dr. Frankenstein and his monster. Tim is the modern day Frankenstein, really holding this series hostage. For $250 million, we can get this thing up and rolling again, and of course we've got a series of great prizes, including an executive producer credit, which can be yours if you donate. So please get in touch, get on Kickstarter, open up your wallets, and make Decker vs. Dracula, the complete Decker vs. Dracula, a reality. Thanks, folks, and hope to see you at the premiere. Got it.